Creating conversations with the storytellers. It's what we do on arrow.net, ARROE.net. We are unplugged and totally uncut with Catherine Newman.
Hi, Arrow. I'm good. How are you?
I love your energy. My God, I love that energy.
Oh, my God, Arrow, I have a note from my last book that says, I swear I could send you a photo of it. It says, try to talk to Arrow again next time.
Thank you. Because as much as we want to teach our kids what you have placed inside, what can I say? I still say that this book is for adults as well.
I know. You said it, not me, but I am completely with you. I think it's a really, I think we can all use a little reminder about how to strengthen our relationships right now.
When you have chapters and paragraphs based on asking for help, that's probably one of the things that I'm severely weak in, because it's like, I got this. And it's like, well, no, we should be collaborating. We have this.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's such a great way to, when you put it that way, it's like, great. That is one of the most basic human impulses that we should be nurturing in our kids, is the asking for help and offering help. And, in my other book, How to Be a Person, I always think of the foundational question being, what can I do to help? And I think it's interesting that you would sort of frame that as a corollary to, can you please help me? Because those are really twinned things that we all need to practice basically all day long. And it's a teachable skill. Mm-hmm. You can learn how to ask for help. It's not a mysterious thing. You can practice it. You can screw it up and try again. It's just a skill like any other.
One of the sad things about asking for help is one of those things where it's almost like when you tell somebody you the man or you rock, in the way that they ask for help, but they don't activate the help. I think we need to teach kids and adults the same thing. If you're going to ask me to help, then you got to do it.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I think there's just a level of, I think what we want for our kids is this, on the one hand, this incredible, acute awareness that other people are busy, they're in their own lives, they're different from you, they want different things. We can ask of them, and then our obligation is gratitude and graciousness in return. And so just to feel that those are always relationships being strengthened, that asking for help doesn't deplete a relationship, it strengthens it.
The book we're talking about is What Can I Say? I think one of the things that really comes in when it comes to help is my father used to say, why did I have to ask you? Just help. And I think that's one of the things that I work with my grandkids and stuff like that. It's like, you don't have to ask, can I help? Or, well, I don't have to ask you. Just help. You know that I need help.
Yeah, I think both things at once, though, because also not everybody has that awareness, and kids are still learning it, or especially kids who aren't neurotypical, like if you know anybody who's on the autism spectrum. Yeah. These are skills that really are just learned skills like any other. You might really not know when somebody needs help. And so just on the one hand, teaching that kind of awareness, right? Look around. Like, first of all, look up from your phone, which could be a whole chapter just on its own. Look around and see what's happening, what needs doing, how can you help? And then if you're not sure, you can always ask, what can I do to help? And if somebody's not offering help, you can ask them for help instead of waiting for them to help and waiting for them, and then they don't do it, and then you're mad, which we call in my family hurting your own feelings. When you play guess what I'm thinking and someone doesn't get it right, that's called hurting your own feelings, and you really don't need to do it.
Oh my God. Social skills. You talked about the smartphone device and things like that. Social skills does not mean social media. We need to physically get our little ones in front of people.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I feel like we're all really aware of what the pandemic has taken from kids. We're aware of what it's taken from everybody. Mm-hmm. But I think kids who are really in the middle of just learning and practicing these social skills, and then for them to be so disrupted, I think I think if we can just approach it really optimistically and invite them to learn these skills. I think of the book, I really like to think of it as an invitation. It's illustrated, it's friendly, we're not scolding anybody or lecturing, just inviting kids to kind of approach these skills as learnable skills rather than as a thing they missed or as a mysterious thing they don't understand.
This book is coming out at the perfect time, and what I mean by that is because I'm on the essential line, and the reason why I did that was because during the lockdown I needed to be with people, so I got a job at a grocery store, and it's been such a great studying tool. And what I'm seeing a lot of dads teaching their kids how to grocery shop, and so the kids are there, they're willing to learn. We just have to have more parents get involved with the process of life.
Yeah, that's a great point, that on the one hand, actively teaching them, which is what you're talking about, which is so important, and on the other hand, and this, I know everybody doesn't want me to say this, but I'll say it anyway, modeling for them when your kids get home from school, put your phone down. And I'm not scolding, we all are just sucked into this weird vortex of connectivity, but it does tend to make us actually disconnected in person, and that's really not good for your brain. The brain chemistry of in-person interaction is so powerful. Being in an interaction in person with somebody, even if you're an introvert, this is my favorite fact, it releases dopamine and feel-good brain chemicals. Even if you think it doesn't, it does. And so that's where we're building up our health and resilience and our feel-good, and it's a natural antidepressant, being with other people. So we just really need to encourage our kids to start, having and maintaining these actual in-person relationships. It's really important.
The book is called What Can I Say? What about independence? A lot of people will write that off as I'm just an introvert, but no, independence and introvert are not the same thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I have this weird thing I say about independence, which is that I sometimes think the focus on independence in kids is missing the boat a little bit, because I think what kids need to work on is seeing that, in fact, they're always in community and always in relationships. Yep. So if you're teaching your kid to grocery shop, on the one hand, you think, oh, I'm teaching this kid a skill to be independent. Not really. You're teaching a kid, hey, you're going to be in a household one day where someone else is not always going to do the shopping, where you're going to have to be in a relationship and see what the other people need in your house and pull your weight. And those are relationship skills, even though they look like they're just independent skills.
Yeah, I love looking at a child, and I'll ask them about the stuff that they're buying and stuff like that, because I believe the seed becomes the tree, becomes the paper, becomes where I write, where I share the words. So it's the same thing when it comes to lettuce. I'll ask them, do you know where lettuce comes from? Because they've got to understand that we're not just here to be here. It had to take a lot of things to get here, and that's what I love about this book, is that hopefully it just creates conversation in the way of going, you have to understand there is a story here.
I love that. You have to understand there is a story here. I'm not sure I've heard a better description of teaching empathy, because that's all empathy is. There's a story here, and can you open up your mind and your curiosity and hear what it is? Love that.
So where do you grow from here? Because there's parents listening right now. They're going to want to hit your website. They're going to say, I like this. I'm going to get the book. But books are one of those things that you have at home. You don't have it with you at work. That's why I like, the digital books and stuff like that, because I could be at a red light reading this book.
That's great.
So what is the next step for listeners so that they can get engaged in what you're sharing?
Well, I hope they buy the book. The book is What Can I Say? And it's illustrated by the inimitable, brilliant Debbie Fong, who's one of my favorite people in the world. So I hope you get the book. I have a website, which is catherinenewmanwriter.com. And yeah, I hope to connect with people. I love hearing from readers. I especially love hearing from kids. So if your kids read the book and like it, tell them to send me an email. They can do it right from my website. I love to hear from them.
See, that's it. That's what I'm saying. The seed becomes the tree becomes the paper. And when they reach out to you and talk to you, that's like me sitting down and talking with Julia Cameron from The Artist Way. It's like, oh my God, you're the one.
Love that.
Oh, Catherine, you got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Okay, good. I'm going to make the same note in my notes that says, make sure you get to talk to Arrow again. I really am. I'll just make the exact same note for next time.
I'll put it on the Google Calendar. We'll sit down, have some coffee the next time, or tea, and we'll make it happen.
Okay, great. Okay, good. I hope so.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
Okay, you too.